Welcome to Reselling Insights with Dave and Lori, where this and every episode is sponsored by eBliss Reseller Solutions, where you can get storage and fulfillment starting at $5 per item. And this week, we are so excited to have Jovani Valenti with us. Hi, Jovani.
Hi, everyone.
And she is going to talk to us about her new book that she wrote that is on Amazon that's all about reselling. I believe it's called The Confident Reseller. Is
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Very
So,
cool.
yeah, I'm so excited to talk about this. I haven't read it yet. I wish I had because I'm the reader. I would definitely read it. So definitely send me a copy if you want to, or I'll buy one either way. But yeah, I took a look at the cover. And just have to say, I love the artwork on there. It's so cute.
Thank you.
I don't know if you did that yourself or you had somebody else do that.
Definitely not. I outsourced that from an Etsy
Oh,
person. Yeah.
neat.
And
Excellent.
I've actually sent her a lot of people because they love the caricature because it's
Yeah.
so realistic. It's exactly what April and I look like.
So excellent. So yeah, so give us a little bit of history, first of all, about your reselling journey. So where did it start? What do you sell? And where in the country are you?
Okay, so I'm actually in Northwest Connecticut in a area called Torrington, and I call this a little big city because you can find farms here, and then also we are the next largest city of our surrounding towns. So everybody comes to us for all of their shopping. Um, Reselling has I've actually been reselling since I'm a little girl. I used to go to my mom's job. Totally illegal. Photocopy
Oh, cool.
photocopy my coloring books. And then after my family would pray the rosary, I had a little shop and I would sell it to them a quarter if they wanted it not colored and 50 cents if they wanted me to color it.
Wow.
I
How old
love
were you
that.
when you
I
did
was
that?
like 7.
Wow. So you've always been an entrepreneur, had that
Yes.
spirit in you from a very young age.
Yes. And then anytime I wanted to do something or I wanted to clear out, if I knew that I could get some money for my items, I actually was on Poshmark very early on when they first came out as a buyer. And then I also would on and off sell things. And then I didn't, they didn't let you dispute a customer's case and they just took the customer's word for it.
Mhm.
And something happened with an item that I know I sent in good condition and they didn't let me like have a rebuttal. And I'm all about having justice, like I'm very big on that. And so I told them off and I closed out my account.
Oh,
And
boy.
then the pandemic hit and I was like, my husband's home. I have all this time. Like my house is clean, right? Because I have nothing else to do. He's piggybacking off of me with the kids and I have free time now. So I went through my house and I started cleaning out. And then I had a good time with it. And I met people and I met people who helped me grow with it because I didn't know that this is something that you could do as a business. I
Right.
just thought people just went on Poshmark and just sold their own stuff. I didn't think
Right.
that like you went out looking for more stuff.
Right. Like it could be an actual job or an
Yes.
actual income that you could count on.
Yeah. So I
Mhm.
actually like started this really thinking about this as something that I can do to supplement so that if I wanted to do something with the kids that I could help with that so that we're not pulling from our own personal budget.
Mhm.
Like we can, but if I don't have to, I would prefer not to.
Right.
So then I started taking this a little bit more seriously and I'm very part-time. So I'm always very honest. My sales are never crazy sales. But the thing about me is that when I do something, I go all in and I want to know everything about it and I want to make sure that I do it right. So that's how this journey got started and I started helping other people and helping them know that you can do this and it can work around you and your schedule. So I mostly stick with clothing. That's what I like. And
Okay.
mugs. I'm obsessed with mugs.
Oh,
And because
interesting
I
combination.
cannot buy another mug for my home because my husband told me enough mugs.
True.
I actually, anytime I go, if I find something that I like, I will buy it to resell it.
And it's
Right.
hard.
That's how
It's so hard to pass up Starbucks mugs. I
Mhm.
know.
I am
I
not a
know.
Starbucks person.
Oh, but the mugs, the
Nope.
grab.
I will
No.
not. I
Oh,
will
okay.
not buy a Starbucks mug.
Oh, okay. So what type of mugs do you look for?
I just look for anything that's different that I know maybe you won't be able to necessarily get it again. Like, I'm very particular. Like, I won't pick up just any Ray Dunn mug because those are oversaturated. But I pick ones that I'm like, oh, I've never seen this before, or this one is really pretty. Let me think. Hold on one second. I have one here. Here's one that I picked up.
While you're doing that, I just want to say hi to Red Nose Pitch, such a hustler, she says. And Shay says, hey, y'all. And Shay also says mug life. So there is something to that. So let's see this.
So this one is a holiday mug, and it says naughty on it.
Oh.
So
I would think nothing special, right? But what is the history of that? Who makes it?
nothing. It's just
Oh,
I just have never
you
seen
like
a
it.
mug that looked like an actual, like, it looks like coal, like you were naughty. So here's your coal.
Okay.
Oh, very
So-
cool.
There's
Yeah.
nothing. I find, like, I'm like I actually thought about giving this to my husband. Like, here's your coal. But I was like, oh, I don't know, this would be a good, like, I thought about this as something for, you know, those a Secret Santa, or those what's that one where you have to pass the gift around?
Oh,
White elephant. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's fun.
Yes. Excellent. So
So-
are you just on Poshmark, or do you sell on any other platforms right now?
So I'm on Poshmark and Mercari. I just added Trade Z.
Mhm.
I've been thinking about going back to eBay. I broke up with eBay, and not because they did anything wrong, but because I like knowing everything. And with eBay, I didn't know the fees, or you get billed. I don't know. I just was like very uncomfortable with that because I have spreadsheets that I budget out for everything, and it didn't fit into my pretty little spreadsheet because it was constantly changing.
Mm.
Well,
So I just figured I didn't have enough time to give it attention.
right.
And so I dropped eBay, and I just went down to just Mercari and Poshmark.
Mhm.
And then I just added TradeZ back. I was on TradeZ for a little while, but I dropped it also very quickly because I was like, oh my God, 4 I think is too much. So I
Yeah.
don't do more than what I think I can handle because I like to
Right.
do things really well. So this summer, I might actually add eBay back because I'll have more time to give it attention.
So
Very good
a couple weeks ago, we had Shay, Maryland Picker, MD Picker, on, and we spoke about that. She was strictly on Mercari, and she's like, I'm thinking about doing eBay and this and that. And we're like, well, let's have her on. We chatted about it because she wants to be very methodical in how she gets back into eBay, because it is a little bit. I always say intimidating because you have to learn so much. So she's doing it pretty well. So maybe give her a follow on YouTube. She's definitely on YouTube and Instagram. She's coming along,
Awesome.
and she sells mainly toys. So I know your clothes, but
Well, I
so-
shop toys. So
Okay, yeah, with the kids, you never know. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jovani, I feel like we've known Jovani for years, but it's probably only been like 10 months.
Mhm.
So I think the first time we got to know you was our friend Renee, Fashion Thrifter 2018, was having an Instagram live. And she goes, oh, Jovani's going to be on, and we're going to be selling her stuff, and then I'm going to sell my stuff. And it was kind of neat. It was this Instagram selling thing. And I was like, oh, this is cool. And I think we bought two things from you. And Lori, I think you still have.
Oh, yeah. Okay. For some reason, I always thought those were from Renee, and I got confused. Sorry.
No,
But yeah, I
Jovani.
do
Yep.
remember. Yeah, I think I wore one of them recently. I can't remember what the occasion was, but it was a
I know
nice
you
little
wore one for-
sparkly.
It was on your anniversary.
I think so. It was a sparkly
Sparkly,
little
yep.
gold shimmies. That's the word. I don't
We're
know.
not fashion people.
We're not fashion at all.
But yeah, it was pretty cool because it's like, I'm like watching his Instagram live, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of neat. Do you still do that? Are you still doing Instagram, like sales, the lives, or?
No, I
Yes, well.
actually, that's another thing that I dropped because I realized I'm the type of person that I let things like consume me, and I go all in, right? So I had to take a step back and realize my priority is homeschooling and my kids, and I want something that doesn't require me to take too much time away from them. So I'll do like one-off interviews like this, or I'll do my clubhouse every other week, but nothing that is like I feel like I have to be on. The other thing is like, I have to be in the energetic mood to do this.
Mhm.
And a lot of the times the lives have to happen at night. And by the evening, I'm done. And I don't want to talk to anybody, even if it's just on camera and I don't see you, because that's
Right.
still energetically time consuming, and just like, it just sucks my energy. So I'm an extrovert introvert, and I appreciate my nights where I'm just in bed reading a book. My kids are in bed. They know not to talk to me. It's mommy time. It's how mommy recharges to be a better mommy the next day. And so if I can do the Instagram lives where I know like it's going to be like, 20 people on and all of that, then I would probably do it again, because I did enjoy them, but not anymore. It's just,
I think that's like we also had an episode. The reselling world is it's evolving, it's changing. It's like you have new apps like Whatnot. No, is it Whatnot? Yeah,
I think that's right.
Whatnot. Yeah, all these things. You have things like Clubhouse, which was popular last year, and now that really spiked, and a lot of people really got to know each other in there, which is cool. But you have all these new things, and it's like you can't. Some people feel like they have to try them all, and
yes.
I think Lori and I, as resellers, we're only on one platform, eBay mainly. We have a couple things on Poshmark just to gain an understanding of it. But I think, I think that's smart. I mean, you're homeschooling your kids and you're using reselling, as you said, kind of like as funny money or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But you see the potential there, and you've always had that reselling drive.
Yeah.
Even as a 7-year-old.
Yes.
It's nuts.
Wow. Well, what a fascinating history. Let's talk about your book, because that is so interesting. So I noticed that you wrote it with April Francia. Is that correct? Now, how do you know her?
April. Okay, so April and someone invited me into an Instagram DM group chat for resellers where we can kind of engage with each other, ask questions, but all on Instagram. And April was in there, and I asked a question and no one directly answered my question except her. So I sent her a DM individually, separate from the rest of the chat, thanking her for actually listening to what I was asking and giving me a clear, direct answer. So I'm very clear and direct. And from there, she and I just started talking. And somehow she and I took over the chat to the point where she thought I was the one who started the chat. And I was like, no, it wasn't me. And so that's where our relationship evolved. We realized that we had a lot of things in the way that we like to do things in common. She was doing reselling full time, but a lot of where I was lacking, she kind of helped me. And then where she was lacking, I helped her. And we just realized that we had a really good working relationship. And so we decided to partner up on a lot of things. And then we did the Clubhouse together. And from the Clubhouse is how we wrote the book.
Wonderful. Excellent. Now, I think she's from Colorado. Is that not?
She lives in Colorado. She lives in Denver.
Right. That's what I thought. And didn't you used to live in Colorado?
Yes.
Right. That's such a small world.
It is. I mean, where she lives, I'm like, oh my gosh, I lived like 10 minutes from there.
But not at the same time, and you didn't know her at the time, obviously.
No, I lived in Colorado from 2005 until 2015.
Oh, okay. So 10 years.
Yeah, I was there for 10 years. I was a teacher there. I taught in Denver public schools. I taught for a charter school. Then I went into nonprofit education, and I worked out at Lafayette, close to Boulder.
Yeah.
And I did that for like the last 3 years. So yeah, I was in Colorado for a long time. All my whole 20s, I was in Colorado.
Wow. Very cool. Very cool. So some of the topics on this book, I don't know all of them. Like I said, I haven't read it yet, but I will. Okay. I promise. Basically, it's called The Confident Reseller, a guide for beginners, but I think you intimated that it's not just for beginners, correct?
No.
Yeah. So tell us about some of the topics that you've covered in this book and how they would help either a beginner or a seasoned reseller.
Yeah. So the first thing April and I are very adamant about is you have to know your why. And I feel like whether you're a beginner or you fell into reselling and you've been doing it for a long time, you may not have necessarily thought about, why am I doing this? What is my reason? What is going to keep me going? What's going to drive me? So the first chapter is all about your why. And then what we
Mhm.
do is we ask you questions. And then right in the book, you can actually, hold on, let me get to the page. So we ask you some questions. We share our why. So here we ask questions. I'm trying to get the camera.
Mhm.
There it is. Then April and I both share our whys as an example. And then we give you a space to write it.
So sort of like an interactive sort of workbook.
I'm very big on interactive books when it comes to topics like this, where it can kind of be boring because it'll keep you going and it'll make you like, okay, now I know I'm going to learn something. So now I have the space to write my notes in and what have
Yeah.
you.
Right. Very
And
nice.
then the next thing we talk about is naming your business. And I feel as though a lot of people, when they named their business, they named it with just a one-track mind. They weren't thinking about growth. They weren't thinking about opportunity. So a lot of people have the name Posh, have the word Posh in their name, right?
Right.
And that leaves you with very limited options. Whereas Ebliss can be it's a brand in and of itself, right? It's something that you can put on bags and that's going to sell, right? Because I can carry around an Ebliss bag. It's not going to matter to me.
Right. I totally understand. It's not you're not pigeonholing it to one platform necessarily.
Yes.
So you're talking you're basically telling us, like, when you think of your store name or your business name, to think a little bit broader from a branding standpoint.
From a branding standpoint, how are you going to brand yourself so that if a different company wants to come and work for you or work with you, or if you want to partner with another company, or if you want to, let's say, for example, me, Chic Little Design. When I came up with that name, I wanted to make sure that if I wanted to grow my graphic designing, because I do thank you cards and I do business cards, but I don't charge for it because it's still like my hobby. It's my fun time. It's my Jovani time.
Right.
I figured when I was talking to my cousin about it, she's like, that can go on a clothing label, or it could be for your design business. Like, it can go either or.
Right.
And you can still author, like, I do courses or author books or things like that. Like, I just thought really, really broad and big. Like, I want to cast the net out there. So I didn't want to pigeonhole myself. So we talk about naming your business. And then we ask questions like who your target market is. Do you know who you want to sell to? So that we talk about that in here, as well as this is one thing that I wish that I knew when I first started. There are actually different business models for reselling. There's 5. So we talk about each one of them. We talk about wholesale, private label, liquidation, retail arbitrage, used, and then we talk about how you can do crafting and handmade or drop shipping. So I didn't know that I could do liquidation. I had no idea that I can go directly to like Macy's and buy off of them because I'm a registered business. These are things that people don't know when they're first starting, because you think everybody goes to the thrift store, everybody goes to the bins, so that's what I'm going to do. So in here, we really help people understand the different business models, and then we give a space for you to write your business plan in the book as well.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more about that business plan, like how, because I don't think that's something that most resellers do.
No.
They just, they just don't do that.
I
And
think-
even a lot of legitimate businesses probably don't even do that either.
No, April and I are very big on being organized, having a plan, and having a driving force. Like, where am I going to go next?
Right. So what is the business plan, essentially, what is the purpose of having one for a reseller?
So the purpose of having a business plan is, if you want to get a micro loan, right? They're going to ask you for a business plan. You have the opportunity to go and get loans if you want to grow your business. You can go ahead and get a loan, but you have to have a business plan. Like, the bank is going to want to know, or the person who is going to be giving you this micro loan is going to want to know, where is this business going and what are you going to do with this money?
Right.
So the business plan is really simple. We have you decide, where do you want your business to go in 10 years? What do you want your business to do that you haven't done yet? Then we give you the opportunity to choose one business model and then choose a second business model that you want to move into. And so I started off with used and retail arbitrage. And then my second business model that I wanted to move into was liquidation. And I said I wanted to do it by April of this year. I bought my liquidation box in February. So I had the plan, because when you don't have a plan, you don't know what to do with your money.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
So I had the plan. I knew what I wanted to do. And instead of going sourcing all the time, I was hoarding my money so that I can buy this liquidation box, but that I can buy it outright and not have to worry about selling more in order to pay it back, kind of thing.
Right.
I was very clear that I don't want to go into debt in order to resell. So the business plan lets you know what you're doing with your money, where you're going with your business, so that you have a clear idea. And you know, someone who is first starting may not see the value in this, right? Because when I first started, I probably would have been like, a business plan. But when talking to April and how she went through with her business, we were like, you know, I think it's really important for people to think about this. Like, they don't have to decide right there in that second, I'm going to do a business plan for my reselling business if they're like a month into their reselling. But can they come back to this book and be like, oh, I remember in the Confident Reseller, there was a business plan. And now I've been a year in and I kind of want to take this more seriously.
Right.
They have that opportunity too.
So basically, that when they probably wouldn't recommend doing it right away, but like once they've gotten their feet wet and they've kind of, you know, they're becoming a little bit successful and you want to take it to the next level or figure out where you want to go long term.
Yes. And I mean, and you can even do this where it's just kind of like, we just have a page in the business plan where you have your 3 main goals and then you have 6 goals that you want to work on. So you can we just offer you the information, and what you do with it is completely and totally up to you.
Right.
Then we talk about branding, and then registering your business. Is it right for you? And we just share the information. That's one thing that April and I were very adamant about, that we didn't want it to feel like we were telling you what to do.
Right.
We wanted it to feel like, here's some information of what you can do.
Right. And then they can make the decision for themselves if it's right for them. At least they have the information. Yeah. I mean, that's one of our pet peeves in the reselling world, because it seems like everybody thinks they're an expert on everything, and they come across as like, you have to do it this way, or you can't do this. And then people take it as gospel. It's just like, hold on a second there.
Yeah.
You know, so that's great that you guys came with that approach.
Yes. And then the other thing is, you know, like, we gave you all the business models, right? We didn't tell you these are the business models that we use and these are the business models that work. We're telling you, here are all of the business models, and you decide which one is going to work best for you.
Right.
We do mention sourcing, but again, when we mention sourcing, we don't tell you how to source. We don't tell you where to source. We just tell you, for example, we say common ways to source: thrift stores, retail arbitrage, and then we talk about that you can do Ross, TJ Maxx, Nordstrom Rack, online sourcing. Like, a lot of people don't know, you can source right on Poshmark.
Yeah, and eBay even.
Yes, and eBay even. Because there's going to be some people who don't know what they have.
Oh, yeah.
And are going to just sell it. People
or have too much and they just want to get rid of it.
Yes, exactly. So we talk about that. Estate sales is another one. Wholesale, like Alibaba. We mentioned liquidation, online consignment and consignment stores. And then we talk about church sales and garage sales. So we give you the information and then you decide what you're going to do with it. We do give a pro tip in here, like, for example, your cost of goods and your return on investment. See, these are things that no one talked to me about. So we really wanted to make sure that when we wrote this book, that we were talking to you about what is really important about reselling. And it's not necessarily about the trends and all of that. Yes, that's important. But if your cost of good is high, then your return on investment is low.
Right.
And then that's not a good business practice.
Right.
So we talk about that. We talk about photographing, and we don't say you need this ring light or that ring light. If anything, we say use natural light. If you can use natural light, that's going to give you the best lighting ever. And then we talk about titles and descriptions. no one told me how to make a good title. Like pink dress. Right? So
Yeah.
April and I have a very systematic way that we do titles. It works for us. It really is an SEO and search engine optimization way. We test it out. We go looking for things on Google, and then lo and behold, our item, there it is. So so we share that, and then we share my favorite organizational tips on how to keep yourself organized.
That would be my favorite too.
Yes. And we talk about scammers
Oh.
and how to combat scammers. And then we talk about customer service, packaging. And then towards the end, we just share apps and services we use, frequently asked questions. And then at the very end, acronyms and terms. Okay,
Oh, gosh.
y'all. Like, I mean, the words, the things that we use, like
Bolo.
TTS. What the heck is
What?
TTS?
TTS?
True to size.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think we've ever seen that one.
No, we don't use that.
STR. Everyone talks about your STR.
Sell-through rate?
Yes.
Okay.
Sell-through rate. So we define that for you.
All right.
And then in the end, we added, here's our favorite thing. We added in the end a checklist, things to keep track of for taxes.
Yeah.
So, and then vendors and suppliers that you might see out and about that you're like, oh, I might want to check them out. And then you can write in names of reseller accounts that you admire and want to follow. So that's our book in a nutshell.
So the book is called The Confident Reseller, a guide for beginners. And it's sold on Amazon.
Yes.
Lori's going to bring it.
Yeah, I'm going to bring it up.
And we'll put the link down below in
there you
chat.
go.
Oh, that's cool.
Everybody see that there? Yeah. So you can buy it on Kindle and paperback.
I'm going to need an audiobook. I don't read. Or actually, Lori, can you read it to me at night? No, but this is really cool because 8 years ago, I thought I invented reselling. I really did. I walked, and it's the truth. I walked into a Goodwill outlet bins and I'm like, look at this stuff. I could buy it for $1 and sell it for 40. And I thought, like, this is it. Like, I can't believe I just discovered this. But what you're doing right here is a great book for people to get a grasp of what's available out there with all type of reselling approaches. Now, as Lori said, and you were saying, Jovani, it's like, don't put a label on what you are. I'm a part-timer, I'm a full-timer, I'm a this. You know what? If you're doing it and you're having fun and it's meeting your needs and you're enjoying it and your family and your husband approves, your spouse approves, whatever, go for it. I just want to say hi to a bunch of people that hopped in. A couple people. Patrick popped in and he says, yes, hello. And Patrick also said he still doesn't know what to call himself, in terms of a business. Danica jumped in, Lady Luck Junk. She says she is coming to Colorado. We would love to meet up again. Definitely. She knows where we are. We're down in Centennial, near the Centennial Airport. Kristen, a rural squirrel who travels. I mean, she lives in near Lafayette, where
okay.
So she lives, but she travels a lot. She goes to a lot of bins right now, or actually last week or this week she was in Vegas and she does little thrifting challenges, and she stopped by our warehouse 3 weeks ago. And it's just awesome because everyone has the same passion as a reseller. You have it, Kristen, Patrick, everybody. Just also wanted to say hi to, speaking of, this was interesting. I wanted to bring this on earlier when you were saying about branding. These are actually Soulmates Boutique is a eBliss client. Now, they thought this through and they shared this with us, and we had them on a couple of weeks ago as well, an interview where they're branding and they're using Soulmates Boutique as their own site. They're going to be going on across all different platforms. So that's kind of like, and they have experience in retail. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool that you brought that up, Jovani. Like, think about, don't just call yourself eBay, seller number one, because you're not number one. So Soulmates Boutique, thanks for hopping on. And Leah Pags as well, saying iBooks reads it to you. Okay.
Did not know that.
I know.
Good tip.
I'm with Dave Audio. I just zone out and listen to things as I fall asleep. So, but very cool. And everyone appreciates this. Like as I was mentioned, like I thought I invented reselling, and like this is amazing. And then a couple years later, there's the usual suspect, that are on YouTube that we all watch and we all enjoy. They're very entertaining, educational, and inspiring. And I think it's great now because there's so many people like you that are using your skills. You're a teacher. You're homeschooling your kids. You have skill. You were a teacher out here in Denver, and you're right. You put together a book, which is going to be pretty amazing, and I can't wait to get it as well.
And Dave, the chapters are short. They're like maybe 2 pages.
Is it big? Is it big print?
print?
I need lots of pictures.
You know something? We do. I mean, the print is big.
Okay, I might be able to stretch it.
And then we sprinkle in graphics anywhere we can because I love graphics. Look at this infographic here. Look. Infographic. Look at that.
I love it. I could handle that. That's good. I majored in economics where I'm all about graphs. I need to see, lines and stuff. Leaders are readers, Dave. Yes, I know. That's why Lori's the reader and CEO of eBliss, which, believe it or not, Jovani, eBliss, you said, you put eBliss on a bag, you could go anywhere. But we share this a lot. eBliss actually was an acronym, Lori.
It still is an acronym, but it started out as an acronym. Speaking of acronyms, for our business, because when we first started eBliss, we wanted to do everything. So the L in eBliss actually stands for listing. So it was originally eBay, listing, inventory, storage, and shipping. That's what eBliss stood for originally.
Yeah.
And then we added Poshmark to the mix. So it wasn't strictly eBay. So we changed it from eBay to e-commerce business. And then when we discovered that we didn't think that we should focus on listing at the time, we said, you know what, let's change the L to logistics. So now it's e-commerce business, logistics, inventory, storage, and shipping.
But you know something? That doesn't matter for your brand purposes. Like you can put that on a sticker, you can put that on a pen. Like I have my Rolo and I have stickers all over my Rolo. Like if you had an eBliss sticker, your sticker would be on my Rolo.
Yeah.
Patrick actually said that's a future trivia question. So Patrick, I plan. Look at this. This
that's
is
the original one. Yeah.
All right.
That's right there.
So this is the mouse pad. This is how old I am. I still use a mouse pad and stuff. So eBay logistics. So I plan on putting this on eBay in maybe 15, 20 years if eBay's still around, and hopefully we'll do an auction. It'll be up to $1 million. So Patrick, just letting you know. But yeah, so that's cool about the branding. That actually is very, very difficult. Now your Instagram handle is Chic Little Design. Right?
Yes.
Okay, and that's your brand as well, or?
Yeah, I mean, you guys should actually be on with us next week and 2 weeks on Clubhouse because we're going to be talking about trademarking, and so I'm actually like really thinking seriously about, is that really it for me? Like, am I sold on Chic Little Design? Because I did start last year the process for trademarking, and then I took a step back and I was like, well, let me just wait a second because I'm not really sure if this is it. Like if this is going to be it for me. It's expensive to trademark.
Yeah, we know. We did it.
That's true. Yeah.
We did trademark eBliss Reseller Solutions. So we've been through that process.
It's so hard. I think coming up with a name for a business, people get hung up on it. People get hung up on logos. That's very interesting. I'm interested.
The logo is the fun part. The logo is the fun part.
Did you design your own logo?
I did.
Oh, neat.
Not the picture here, but the one, I have a different one with peony flowers. I love peony flowers, so that's part of my branding and all of that. But I just realized also that the best branding that could ever be is me.
Very true.
So I've been focusing more on putting myself out there and what have you.
Yeah, someone shared that with us as well. And it's true. People like to do business with people, not names of companies. And, it took, we're a different generation. You're much, 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 much younger than us. And we're not used to putting ourselves in front of the camera. It feels very uneasy.
Foreign.
Yeah. It took us a while, but I think we're over it. I think so. Now
I
I'm like,
didn't.
yeah.
Well,
I
you
didn't
definitely are.
necessarily, I didn't necessarily like it, but I mean, if I can put myself in front of 20, 30 kids that are brutal, right? I can do
Yeah.
anything.
That's a good point. Yeah, you've been groomed for this your
Yes.
whole life.
Yes.
So-
Being in that
Yeah.
realm, yeah.
But coincidentally enough, you know, I can never trademark my name, like my name.
Your first
Because-
name, you mean?
Yeah, because it's a dress designer.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Interesting.
so I had to.
Jovani.
That's why I like have to really think about it. Like, what am I going to do?
Because your industry would be too similar.
Yes.
If you were doing something totally different, you could, but it is kind of like in the same realm there.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. See, the thing is, and back to doing business with people, your personality, a lot of positive energy, and people, I think you do a lot of reels on Instagram. I don't know how you do them. I mean,
I
when
do
you
them
have
all
the
in one
time?
day, sitting at my dining room
Oh.
table. Don't you notice
Really?
every day this week has been the same outfit and the same place?
I don't notice that.
He
I
wouldn't
know.
notice that.
No
He
one
would not.
notices it. People think that people notice that. No one notices. That's why I was like, oh, I'm just going to sit here and do it right now. The kids are upstairs. They're being quiet. Let me bang them out.
Yeah, because I could tell people who either are talented for it. Like I wing it, and I have to learn more about it. I know there's people within the reselling community that could really help boost your Instagram. But like, for example, today I'm like, Laura, you look good today. Come on, let's do something. She's like, I'm not in the mood, or something like that. Yeah, like, that was yesterday.
You do have to be in the mood to do it. Like, you have
Right?
to put on that
Yes.
persona, and
Exactly.
I have
You
to be
get
more
that.
energetic and more. You just have to be more because everything
Yes.
has to be big. And
Right.
yeah, I get
And
it.
I'm even though I am an extrovert at heart, I am not like that. Like, Dave can go on the camera and be like, all of a sudden and good. I need more time to prep it, I think, and mentally at least.
There's interesting there because Jovani, you obviously are organized. Lori's organized. I am a mess. You want to see my desk? As is my brain. It's like all over the place. So I'm very impulsive, and I agree. Like, I could be like, yeah, let me get through it right now, yay, and get it done. Lori's like, no, I need to know the structure and what are we doing here? And
So like when I do my reels, I know exactly what I'm going to use that reel for.
okay.
Like, I think I did the one yesterday where I was like going like this and then I went like that. I knew I was going to use that reel to promote the clubhouse. So I have a plan already of what I'm going to use this reel for. But there are some days, Dave, where I'm like, I found something and I have the idea right then and there, and I'll just do it.
Okay.
That works
But I
too
won't-
sometimes. Yeah.
But I won't do it
Yes.
to put it on that same day. Like I do
okay.
my reels all in one day, and I'll do 4 or 5, and then I have them saved. So when you see me posting these reels, it's not that I just did it that day. I did those last week.
Okay.
Then you space them out over the next week.
Yeah.
It's definitely a personality thing because I see you guys are similar. I'm different. I'm a type, like, when I'm wrapping my Christmas presents on Christmas Eve, I want to give them to the person right then and there immediately. As with my Instagram reels, I want to put it out right then. And I'm putting reels out at 3:30 in the morning when I'm awake, in the middle of the night. That's no good. But Kristen was saying that Dave could get jazzed in a split second, and she's right, because I met her at the bins. We did a little thrift challenge up in the Denver bins, and she's like, "Okay, we're filming," and I'm like, "Yay!" And it's just, I don't know if Lori, like, I don't know you, Jovani. I think you are probably a little bit different than Lori, but Lori would be like, "No." It would show on her face
do that
too.
because I'm already in that energy.
Okay.
But if I'm at my computer at work and I'm like focused on something and you come to me and you're like, let's do a reel, I'm going to tell you no. Like, I'm in the middle of something. You should have told me I have 5 minutes.
Exactly.
Ooh, okay, now I know.
Mhm.
Because I like creep over Lori's shoulder, like, can I take a video of you like typing? I'm like, no. So interesting. Okay.
But you know something,
Good
Dave?
stuff.
I actually like your reels because they are real and they're in the moment. So what you're doing is you're showing us like an inside view of
Yeah.
what happens inside of Iblis. And I
Yeah.
really think that those are the best ways for you guys, personally for me, to promote the business, because I'm seeing day in and day out everything that goes into it, the care that you guys put into it. Like the one that you put of those bins. I mean, I was like, oh my God, those bins are beautiful.
Ah, a lot of people have said that, like, thanks for the inside. And that's true. I mean, yeah, we show bins in a warehouse and boxes and it really gets
I mean,
people a flavor. So
would it be cool to see like you guys like and your workers like dancing in the rows of all your bins?
uh-uh.
Absolutely. That would be so
really?
fun.
Like,
Oh gosh, like the TikTok dancing thing?
Yeah.
Lori's like,
Dear. Oh no.
all right, okay, this is a generational thing. I think we have to draw the line somewhere. But Jovani, like you have good energy and you're dancing. I know, you even.
But those are my mom moves. My husband says those are such mom moves. It's like,
Oh.
all right, well, whatever.
They look hip to me. I know you.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I know you're dancing to like Barbie Girl and early 2000s
Yes.
Venga Boys.
Yes,
Right?
that's totally my generation.
That's what I'm saying. That's that. Yeah, I'm
The fist pump.
I'm 10 to 15 years prior to that.
So then do
I'm
the
dan-
hustle.
I'm not that old. I think no. We were.
I was doing the hustle. I mean, my mom was born in '59, so I am all
right.
like, I
Yeah.
love disco and Donna Summer and all of that. I get into
Oh
all
my
of that. I don't
gosh.
know.
What are we? Yeah, if we were to come up with our dance reel, what would it be?
It has to be from the 80s.
Yeah, we're
That's
80s.
perfect.
Yeah. Ugh.
The 80s is such a great. Like, I mean,
Oh yeah.
I think that I have like the best of both worlds when it comes to like all of that, because I have my mom from the 60s and the 70s, and then I was raised in the 80s and the 90s, and then I went through my teens in like the 2000s. I'm very.
We were teenagers through the 80s, so that
Yes.
would be our definite decade. And
So Danica,
Rock out to
Danica,
Kurt Cobain.
we did check it out. We did a reel and we had, I don't know, I'm not going to sing the song. Dun, 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 Nirvana. I'm not going to, I don't even know it, but it went really well because like the music was cool and I didn't know speaking. I was just like this, boom, boom, and it was like, okay, that's cool. So we
That's
probably
the extent of your dancing.
I know we probably attracted a lot of Danica's crew from the 90s. Then, in Vogue. Oh no, Vogue. This, that's Madonna Vogue.
Madonna Vogue,
Okay.
not in
So
Vogue.
Kristen is like us. She's like more Madonna, so probably Madonna, Laura. So you might have to dance
I
a
loved
little.
Madonna. I actually did a whole dance to Like a Prayer.
Oh, on a reel?
No, like when I was a
Just
kid
Oh, okay.
for like a talent show.
Oh gosh, I was in college when that came out. And then Danica said, "Blah, ha, ha." I thought she was saying "ball with a ball to bang." That's a Kid Rock song, but I'm all over.
Listen, you don't have to dance, but if you guys are just doing your thing, kind of like shrugging your shoulders, being like, "Yeah, it's great to work at Ebliss. We love sending your packages."
Well, we will consider it.
So, and then a tip I heard is like you just mouth, you say a sentence. Yeah, well, you go like this, like I'm talking right now, and I'm talking about Ebliss, and then what you do, you put the song over it, so it looks like you're singing the song. People don't realize your lips aren't matched to the words.
Really?
Anyway, yes, people say like you talk like
that.
this, and then Anyway, all right, but
well, I think that your reels are amazing, regardless if you dance or not. I still watch them.
Thank you. We have fun. Marcy, who popped in, Marcy is she's an account manager here for us at Ebliss, and she rocks, and she likes being in front of the camera. Laura.
More than I do.
I know, and but I have to be fair because she's like also like, hey, just give me a heads up, as don't just pop in. Be like,
we all have our stipulations, one way
she's-
or the other.
I give her like, hey, can I stop by in 10 minutes and just do a reel? Yeah. Lori's like, not today. So, but
I mean,
anyway.
don't be afraid to use those filters. A lot of the times, my reels, I don't even have makeup on.
They do.
I've noticed some of the filters are interesting because they don't work all in the same light. Some filters.
You have to pick the right filter.
Right.
Some
Totally.
make you. Yeah, I looked orange one day. I was like,
Oh, yeah.
no. But my crow's feet disappeared, which is amazing. I was like, look at that. It's cool.
Yeah, that one you did was really good. It looked like you shaved and you didn't.
That's right. And it looked like I was like 28. I remember that. But then Luna, our dog, came in and she looked like she was wearing like mascara. It was
Really?
weird.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
notice that.
Oh,
Some
yeah.
of them give you
Oh.
like, I get very jealous. I'm like, damn, those lashes look good. And I'm like, oh,
Uh,
what are mine?
Right.
Oh,
So
boy.
yeah, so we're learning. It's about branding and having people get to know you. And
But I really think you guys do an amazing job. I mean, really.
Oh.
I
thank you.
mean, when
Yep.
I know Bliss and I know that it's Dave and Lori,
Right.
and that's all that matters.
True, but you should know it's Marcy. You should know other, you should know that it's Tony, our USPS amazing postal carrier,
And
and
do a reel with him.
and
Is he
and
allowed with his uniform? I'm not sure.
we catch him every once in a while,
Yeah.
and he kind of like backs away. I'm like, I don't. He's our
Yeah.
age. He's a look. And
Some people are not very keen to be on camera, and I don't blame them.
But when people think of
Yeah.
this, they automatically like they know that April's involved, but who's in front of the camera? Because April's the same way. She's very like, no,
right.
I don't want to be on the camera.
Yep, I respect
So
that.
I mean,
Yep.
that's the balance that you have.
It is totally, and you have to do some dancing. That's for sure.
I mean, just the shoulder thing. That's it.
How about look? Can we do this, Laura? Oh,
See,
that's not bad.
You have to understand. Yeah, I do like to dance, believe it or not, given the right situation. Right?
Right.
Dave does not. If he dances, that's like
my
I've
husband,
come around.
my husband won't dance either. He like looks at me like, "What are you doing?" I'm that wife that waits for him to leave to do my reels. He cannot be around me.
Okay.
oh gosh.
That's so funny.
All my dancing reels are done when he's not home because he'll stand there and just laugh with me.
And then you won't be, and you'll laugh, and
And I start laughing. And then I'm like, why are you laughing at me? And he's like, I don't know.
oh boy,
So
it's
real
all fun.
this has kind of gone into your book to real Instagram, but real quick on Instagram, where do you grab the audio from? Do you buy the songs, or you just kind of save them off of other Instagram reels?
Yeah. So what I do with my Instagram reels is creating a reel doesn't just go like creating a reel, right? I scroll through people's reels, and then the ones that I'm like, I like this and I like how they did it, I'm gonna save it. And then what I do is I'll go through all of my saved reels, and then I'll pick and choose the ones that I want to do for that week. And then I take the audio from that reel, like you click on the audio and it'll say use audio.
Okay.
And then that's what I do it. Because before I was just saving the audio, but then I wasn't remembering why I wanted to use it.
Good point.
And how I wanted to use it. So saving the reel of that person, like the one that I did yesterday where I was pointing and then I did the head thing. Another person did it and she was promoting something else. Right? So it wasn't, so I used her concept, but made it into like what I
applied it to yourself. Yeah.
Yes. So that's how I do it. So, I'll sit down and I'll scroll through and I'm like, this one I'm going to do. And this is how I'm going to use it this week. And I'm going to post it on this day. So I kind of already have in my head how I'm going to do it and when I'm going to do it and how I'm going to use it.
So Laura, like these reels, like if you scroll through reels, you'll be like, oh, that is so January, that reel. Like if you, Jovani, like, you know what I'm saying?
I would not be able to say that.
No, like if,
I mean, some reels I save them. Sorry, I have like this piece of hair in my mouth and I can't like find it. Some reels I'll go through it and I'm like, I can't use that one this week. I have to wait. I missed, like, I know why I saved it, but the energy isn't there. So I'm going to hold off a minute.
okay.
And then some reels I'll do and I'm like, why did I save this one at all?
Right. It has to fit. It does have to fit. Like there's certain ones like, let me skip to the good part. Like,
yes,
I think that, I mean, obviously when that first came out, it was like so popular, but now it's like overplayed. So it's like, you don't want to use like these stale, right?
The other thing is I stopped using trending reels.
Like
the music for them, you mean the music?
Yeah. If it's trending, I'll do it, but I have to like make sure that I do it within that week that it's trending. And then so what I do is I try and save the ones that don't have the little arrow that shows that it's trending, because then all of a sudden I'm like the cool one, you know?
That's true. There you go.
Or it's not overplayed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So as for the reels, Kristen was saying, yeah, she can't do it because Mr. Squirrel can't even be in the house. I understand that. If you're doing dancing and all this stuff, totally makes sense. want to say hi to Roman. Roman's always like, sorry, I missed your live. poor guy, like 1 a.m, like he's DM, sorry I missed your live. I'm like, don't worry about it, you know. So he finally popped in. You finally, thanks for hopping on, Roman. And Marcy says she's the same. I like to be unique with her reels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's true. It has to grasp or capture. So you're saying if you see a good reel, save that reel, and then when you create your own, then you bring in the audio from that reel. You don't have to save the audio.
No, it
Just
saves the entire reel for you,
Okay.
because then the idea is there and you remember, like, your jogs your memory, like, yes, I remember why I saved this.
Okay.
Now this is why I want to use it. Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
smart. Very smart.
Oh,
So,
we've
well,
come, yeah, you know
yeah.
what? We've come a long way, Laura, in a
gosh.
year. I think Clubhouse was I would
Sorry, that was my doorbell.
oh yeah. No,
That's okay.
I would tell people, it's like when we first went on Clubhouse, it was back last year in February, like I would hyperventilate, like when I would go on there and you speak, because
You get so nervous.
like because you just don't breathe. Like I found myself not breathing when I was
Yeah.
speaking, and I think it has to do with the facial, like we were talking about the interaction. Like I need to see people's reaction when
Well, I
you
thought you
speak.
guys did great when you guys were on with me.
Oh, yeah, well, that was 10 months into it. So we finally, yeah, but I'm saying back last year, like it took us a month or two.
We first
and
started. Yeah.
I always share this, like when we first, Jovani, like, we were just eBay, we were just, eBliss was just eBay. And we had a lot of people, Posh sellers, reach out to us and say, can you do it for Poshmark, please? I have all this stuff. And I popped into a Clubhouse at like, it was 11 o'clock Colorado time and it was 1 o'clock your time. And it was like 150 people. There was a lot of people in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, Dave's here. And I totally almost had a nervous breakdown because apparently they were talking about eBliss and like, Dave is on this. And I'm telling you, if I didn't have a heart attack, then I'm in good shape.
Hopefully you'll
So,
never have one.
yeah. So the Clubhouse was rough, but it's because, it's because of Clubhouse that we're on Poshmark now. We do Mercari. We pretty much do any platform as long as our clients can send us the shipping label.
Yeah.
Now, one of the requirements, not to talk about eBliss too much, but I share this because reselling is about adapting and
Yes.
finding out what works, what doesn't. This is good, what's not. And like we originally were going to list, but we decided no. We were only going to do eBay, but no, let's do Poshmark. So yeah, we've come a long way. And I think I think the important thing about your book, back to your book, is you almost feel like you have like a business partner when you have your book. And I didn't read it. I'm going to listen to it. Lori's going to read it to me. But but you almost feel like you have like an accountability partner.
Mhm.
And these resellers will not just have this book. They're going to start following you on Instagram, on Clubhouse, and they could reach out to you, DM you. I mean, you're very responsive on DM, and I appreciate
I am.
that.
That's one thing. Like
Yeah.
I'm very responsive on DM. And that's how I like set that boundary. Like I only have the notifications on for DM and not for like anything else. Like I popped in and I did my reel this morning that I already had saved from last week, and I left. I was like, okay, I did everything that I have to do, and I haven't been on Instagram all day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Dave tried to do that the other day. It lasted about 3 hours.
Yeah, my thumbs are hurting too. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm just like, sometimes I
I
feel
have
like
this thumb shakes.
oh boy.
I have like trembling in this thumb sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
But I was also I was going through the shakes. I needed to look at my phone and get on Instagram. That's a problem too.
It gets like that sometimes. And
Yeah.
what I do is I make a conscious decision. Like Paul is supposed to be off today, so the days that he's off, I make the conscious decision of like I'm not going to be on my phone because we rarely see him.
Yeah. Well, we thank you for being on. I want to also just address Patrick was saying, I doubt I really will ever learn Reels. I don't know. I've just seen so many platforms come and go. I've gotten jaded about platforms. Bring back Yahoo user rooms.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Where's AOL?
Dating himself there.
I mean, I remember going into 1-800, chat rooms. I don't know. This is back in the late 80s.
Party lines.
Oh, you were MySpace? Okay.
I was MySpace.
Oh my gosh.
I was Party Lines.
I
in the
love
80s.
MySpace. Where's
Oh,
MySpace?
man.
I
But
know.
Patrick, videos are the future.
I know.
Not going anywhere.
It's very true. And
Yeah.
Patrick, believe it or not, he was doing a lot of YouTube. He's on Instagram regularly. He was doing a lot of good YouTubes where he was kind of just like, "Hey, I'm on my way to the flea market. Follow me." And I think there's people like that. They like to
People love
connect.
those.
Yeah, they really connect. So Danica was just saying, I see an Iblis reel. Dave sneaking into Lori's office. Lori, shoo away, Dave. Get back to work. Yeah, I have that on my phone, but I never went public with it. I get that all the time from her. That's very true. And then she also sees Manic Monday, money for nothing. She works hard for the money. I thought about that, but
That's
Yeah.
a good
Sure.
one.
Those are good ideas.
Here's the other thing. So if you notice, my reels have somebody was like, Jovani, you like are really passionate about social media and branding. Like, why don't you do that more? So my reels have a theme. So every Monday I'm gonna share something motivational with you. Tuesdays I'm gonna probably promote the clubhouse or share a tip.
Yeah.
Wednesdays I either go live or I'll share something about homeschooling. Thursdays and Wednesdays are interchangeable where I'm kind of sassy sometimes. And then every Friday I do a Spanish reel.
I saw that. Yeah.
So I'm very systematic. This way
Yeah.
I don't have to think too much.
Right.
Like,
I'm sure that helps a lot.
and then people also know what to expect from me. Like I know my
Right.
Spanish reels do really, really well because people, they know they come every Friday and they know they're either going to be really funny or really sassy. And then I'm also giving you a Spanish tutorial because I translate everything.
Very neat.
They intimidate me. I'm not going to lie. When you start speaking Spanish, I'm like, this Jovani is multi-talented. She's a homeschool bilingual, this is not, I mean, you should, I'll show you one. So that's Friday, right?
Yeah.
The Spanish one. Okay.
Yeah. You just have to read the captions. I tell you in English what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I don't read when I do reels. I'm just like, oh, she's speaking Spanish. Oh my gosh, holy moly, she sounds so official. But Roman was saying I need to start playing guitar instead of typing. It helps out the fingers. Lori has a funny story. Are you turning red over there, Lori?
No. When I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, if he knew. Dave tried to play the bass once. The 4-stringed bass didn't work. He couldn't grasp it quickly enough, so he didn't
Last
proceed
very long.
No.
Yes.
The
So we have
one-
go
somebody's talking about Patrick. It says original sounds. That's what I was going to say. Like, that's one thing that you do really well, Dave, is the original sounds. And if you do one that's really good, that can also, people can take your sound and use it on their reel.
like original sound, like woo,
Like you just
that?
talking, like you just saying something.
Saying something like a
Yeah, but-
little tagline or something, right?
People say my voice is very soothing, which sometimes results in
Hey,
people
maybe you
falling
can
asleep.
just read motivational quotes and then people will just use your reels for them to mouth off to.
So many great ideas
Oh
coming
my
at
gosh!
us.
I'm telling resellers are so creative too. They are. I mean, so many people.
You know what it is that we have to. We all do the same thing, and there's no different way of doing what we do. So the only way for us to stand out is to get creative. Like, I mean, I wrote this book, and April and I were like, "Well, what can we really say that hasn't already been said?"
True.
Yeah.
You just say it a different way, a way that resonates with people, a way that's better understandable.
Yeah.
That's the right word.
And I think a lot of people, it's okay to say the same thing or have the same post 2 weeks in a row. It's okay because most of the time people won't see it. So see it. Kristen was just saying, Lori working with the caption, I don't know who needs to hear this, but stop scrolling and start listening. But
everybody could hear that, I guess, right?
What kind of face would you give with that, Laura? Lord, yeah. So anyway, we're approaching an hour, and we know your time is very valuable. I just took it for granted. Oh yeah, Jovani will come on, and I'm like, what am I asking? In the middle of the day, 3 kids at home, homeschooling, and
this is actually my best time because they've already had lunch. And then we're kind of like winding down. The evening is I'm like, what is going on? Why is it that like right after bedtime, it's like you guys get this burst of energy?
Yeah, awesome. Can you bring that back up, Laura, the book, if you have that?
Yes, yeah. I can.
So Jovani was kind enough to come on and share that they wrote a book, The Confident Reseller, A Guide for Beginners. and this could be purchased on Amazon. And there you
Mhm.
go. So help a fellow reseller out and pretty much give it a look and pass it on to anybody else. We always come across newbies when it comes to reselling, Laura, and
Mhm.
this will be good to kind of
Definitely.
pass them, because there's not one right way to do it. And
No,
if you watch YouTube too much, you're going to get tired of being lectured that
I
this
I
is how
don't
you do it.
I did this and I didn't do any kind of YouTube research. I didn't know any of the big sellers, nothing. I knew nothing because I really try and find my own way. Because I'm the kind of person that if you bring me too much, then I want to try it all and I want to try and
Yeah,
perfect it all.
yeah.
So I really feel like I did myself a good justice by not really paying attention to YouTube. And when I did make my Instagram account, I kind of already had my groove. And then I just picked and chose what would work for me. And then if it didn't work, I kind of let it go. And I was like, that works for you, but it doesn't work for me. And I don't really think that you should be pushing it on
I
people.
I hear you. I'm right there with you.
Okay.
Awesome. Good stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank
Yes.
you guys
This
for
is
Uh,
having me. I always have a
oh,
great time
yeah,
with you guys.
no, this was
awesome.
fun.
It was
Went
fun.
by really fast.
And next time you're out in Colorado, we'll go get some good Italian.
Something I was
Definitely.
supposed to make a trip out there to see. I had a friend who I lost through suicide, and he and his mom and I are really
Mhm,
close.
mhm.
And I was supposed to go, and then COVID hit, so it kind of ruined all my plans. So I'm gonna try and make another trip, another trip to go. But I have to make sure that I plan it well because I don't want to stay just a week. I want to do at least 10 days because I have
Mhm.
like you guys and I have
Oh,
April and I want to spend time with my extended family, my Colorado family.
no obligations. We'll pick you up at the airport and drop you off wherever you want.
Perfect.
Seriously, a car ride is all we ask for. We don't need to take time away from your
Well,
vacation
no,
and
I
stuff.
mean I have to tour and visit eBliss. I mean, come on.
There you go.
Well, you
Oh
are
my
you are
gosh.
welcome anytime.
If you come out here, I'll dance down the aisles. All right.
We'll dance together.
You just
Sounds good.
all right. You pick a Barbie girl song Venga Boys, and then I'll pick something from the late '80s.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Jovani.
Thank
We
you guys so
appreciate it,
much.
and
Thank
thank you
you.
everyone in the chat. Thank you
Yes.
for coming on.
Yes,
And
thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
check out the link
Bye.
below to Jovani's book. Take care.
Okay.